Hello, Core 3 Beauties. This is Marcos, and this is our week 15, going to our final week 16 recap briefing video. This is an important one because I want everyone to be fully prepared for our finals on Tuesday and Thursday. We will be having an in-class session in our classroom on both days, with half students meeting on Tuesday. All students meeting both days. Sorry, make sure you got that. Everyone meets both days, but half the students present on Tuesday and the other half presents on Thursday. And we will be having a nice team of guest reviewers, different ones on each of the 2 days. And I want everyone to be fully prepared with your best and to have your presentations thoughtfully put together and skillfully and heartfully executed, as you will have a nice opportunity to have a real life professional style meeting where you need to tell the story of your project from start to finish to someone who is unaware of the full process, like all of us are about each of our projects. This will be a good chance for somebody to get a clean first impression of your thinking process, your concept, your brand, your executions of your analog and digital projects, and then to provide you with really valuable feedback and to give each of you real great practice in developing and providing a professional meeting for your project. And let's just talk about what's going on here. So first, this is all over with now. The tears are gone. I shouldn't have even put this dastardly page on the video, but just we have had our suffering. It's been a freak out for many of you as we returned from Thanksgiving and had a lot to face, but now these are faded and we are ready to go into our final deliverables mode. Hopefully each of you are now finishing, if not have finished, your design assets for both digital and analog, but most likely if you're watching this on Saturday, you're still working on that, and that's okay. Maybe some of you are right now printing and putting together your analog pieces, but don't freak out. You don't have to print it if you don't want to, but it's great to do it if you can. And it will be a live session and there will be judges there. So to hand them the printed piece will be pretty fantastic to do. If you got time to and you didn't plan to, maybe change your mind and do it. So be finishing your final assets and switch from that mindset to the presentation deck mindset. And this is important. This is really, and in the end, this is part of your design to create a thoughtful narrative that goes step by step through what your thinking was and what your results were of your project. And that includes your initial concept, your research, your strategic development of your brand, your name, your design, your touch points, your merch, your vision for that brand. And then the two main showpieces will be, of course, your analog and digital projects that come together as one important presentation deck that you will then casually and inspirationally present in the style of your own, being yourselves. So create that presentation deck, much like what you've already done in our last 2 projects, just a little bigger. But in that same vein, I'll go through the bullet points in a minute here. And then most likely, unless you want to do it before, I do recommend doing this before, but you can do it after. I want everyone in the way that I'm doing right now, using Zoom, putting my presentation deck full screen, putting my little video of me presenting on the top corner, or Zoom does that for you. And I want each of you to make a presentation video of your final assignment, and from start to finish in the same way that you will have done or will be doing in your final review session. So that's important to do. There will be a separate assignment link and a separate Google Drive folder for everyone to put that on there. That'll be due on Friday. But the main thing is that we will presenting on Tuesday and Thursday of this week. Everyone's required to go to both class sessions, and everyone knows your assignments. I don't have that on this video. I forgot to list who's on what day, but I will include it in the email, and make sure you stay true to that. And again, if you're a Thursday person, more is given and more shall be required. So make sure each of you Thursday people have a little extra boost of extraness in your design presentation, because you got a couple more days, and that's going to be noted in what we expect from you. So we're leaving week 15 and going to week 16. And thank goodness we created this bonus week. And we're so thankful that we had the presence of mind to realize that we could utilize this week. And I think that's just made everyone's lives much easier, of course, even though it's probably pretty rough and tough right now, but it's made our projects much better too. So please be sure we are appreciative of this extra time. And I am appreciative of everyone staying an extra week, or you're going to stay here anyway. So can't figure out why the schedule was this way, but we are taking advantage of our bonus week 16 for our finals on Tuesday and Thursday in class. And that review session will be divided into everyone, half the students on one day, half the students, all students on both days to review. And in addition, I forgot to put this in this presentation, but you will also be asked to create feedback forms. I made a Google Forms that I will include in the, it's included in the Canvas assignment, and everyone will have to just fill out the form for at least 6 of your fellow students, providing a quick survey feedback of what your impressions and your comments are on and your fellow students' work. So that'll be another level or another aspect of the final reviews and part of the project and part of what the A making machine will be looking for when creating that beautiful, powerful A. But if you don't have it, and if you don't do your video, and if you don't answer the final examination question, whether you watched all the Port 3 topics, cross topics videos, yes or no, honestly, if you don't do all these things, if your Google Drives are not filled as they should be, the A making machine will switch into curve mode and make maybe a B shape or a C shape. Like, we don't want that. We want an A shape. So make sure you're doing everything, and make sure that your presentation, of course, is fully at its best. Each of you will be given about 10 minutes to present, with a little slack. But the more overtime you go, the less time you'll have for feedback, and get 5 or 10 minutes of feedback from the guests, who will be the reviewers, and then give feedback. If I will probably provide a moment for students to give feedback as well, but make sure, particularly if the other feedback was long, that you give quick, short bursts of encouragement. This is no time to say, I would have done this. Like, no, it's just like, point out what's good. Or you can make criticism if you want, but not like what can't be undone. Like, we're done with the project. So I think that positive reinforcement will be the best bet there, but make it quick and short so that we give more time for our guests to talk. Okay, just a quick recap before this video is over so you can get back to work. Okay, your final presentation is going to be like comprehensive. Now, it may be more comprehensive than what you actually end up saying. So make sure you talk in the way, I don't want you reading through everything you have there, and be aware that the presenters or the reviewers might say there was too much text on your presentation, so don't overdo it, but make sure you get an overview of what the project is. You have a title page, an overview, a general overview of what the project is. If you're the first person going in each day, then you do have a little more burden to explain the project a little bit more than your fellow students will be doing. Overview your cause, have that section of the early part of the assignment. Talk about what your cause was. You don't have to show all the things you researched or the options. Just talk about your cause. Provide the research case study competitors relevant to how your brand ended up being. So provide some kind of research foundation to show your depth of thinking in this, and the insight you got from your research that led you to create the unique approach or solution that you're doing. Outline your target audience. Make sure you make clear what that is so that your designs can be looked through the lens of who is going to be influenced by this. Present your strategy for your brand, like how you decided to approach your brand, the concept and design inspiration for that brand. Don't go too long on this, but show the ingredients in the kitchen that that you use to create the meal. But make that very concise, and then present your brand's name. Remember, that's an idea you created with. Don't act like it just exists. You made this brand. You made the name. Talk about that. Talk about the logo. You can show some iterations if you want, but don't keep it brief. And then go into like the touch point aspect of the brand, where you show how your brand went from a logo to being a living, breathing entity by use of mock-ups on merch and corporate identity pieces or signage or whatever you did to make your brand flourish into a real looking organization. And then from there, you're ready to go into your showcasing of your analog and digital pieces. Think about the best way to present the two, which one should go first, which one should go second. And maybe they need to go both together and then detailed on each separately. That's up to you, but make sure you show your process a little bit on that, but mostly it's about the result, and talk about some of your challenges maybe while you're talking about it, and your decisions to why you did things and how it affects your target audience. So always go back to remember you had a cause you're trying to affect and an audience you're trying to influence. So make sure you're going back to that and talking about that. And then this is important. And I think we did this in the last assignment, but make sure you end before the thank you page, the very important thank you page, which everyone knows. You end before that with the grid page that overviews your project on one page. It has several images that shows the different aspects of your project, so that you have a place to rest your assignment, your presentation deck. After you hit the thank you, after the applause is made, you go back one page and there's your grid page sitting there. So when the judges are talking, they can easily see what you have done in a concise way. They may ask you to turn back to a different section, but at least it's there for them to remember. It's very important. Do not forget the overview grid right before the thank you page. And that should give you the complete full set of a presentation based on what you see here on the screen. So keep this in mind. Make sure you do it right. Practice it. Record your video first if you can. And then you should be in really great shape for your review on Tuesday or Thursday. And yes, we're almost there. Design student Sally has gone fully with you through the beauty rainbow down to human flourishing, starting from your social cause, from the individual needs you identified. And she has a little flame over her head of inspiration. The clouds are parting and we are about to the bottom here. So make sure though, it's important when finishing a race, you must run through the finish line. This is not a time to start celebrating early and then have defeat pass you and have you self-implode. So make sure you're running through the finish line, getting as much as you can out of every second we have left, and ending on a golden human flourishing result. And that beauty and its invisible embrace is going to take hold of all of us. Okay. All right. So take a moment here to get transformed by the power of beauty and know that you are on course to make a great result with the project. We have gone through 15 weeks together now. We're going on our 16th, and we've learned so much together. I've learned so much from you guys, and I'm just so thankful for all the hard work you have been doing, that you're still doing now. And I'm going to be proud of you when you present your best, when you have your completed work and you're able to take us through the story of your project and how you are using design to benefit society, to inspire individuals, and to build human flourishing. So keep going now. I'm available for feedback if needed. I'll keep checking my email over the weekend and be able to respond to you as needed. Be on time Tuesday, and everyone there at class, so that we can greet our guests, lecturers, and have a great class session. Okay, everyone, we will see you in class on Tuesday, or if not earlier, reach out to me if needed. Keep going, everyone. You're going to do great. Take care.